What if Inosuke killed Nezuko in Demon Slayer Season 1? Inosuke, the wild, boar-headed demon slayer, had quite the introduction in Season 1 of Demon Slayer. Shortly after meeting Tanjiro and Zenitsu, Inosuke attempts to kill the demon Nezuko, believing her to be evil like the other demons he has faced. Of course, Tanjiro protects his sister, leading to a clash between him and Inosuke. But what if things had played out differently? What if Inosuke succeeded in killing Nezuko? Well, I found 3 different theories on how the story could continue with Tanjiro dead in the first episode. According to the first theory, after the murder of Nezuko by Inosuke, Tanjiro's personality drastically shifts. He immediately goes into a fight with Inosuke. The compassionate boy devoted to finding a cure transforms into a demon slayer, is now driven solely by vengeance. Immediately after Nezuko takes her final breath, Tanjiro snaps. With fire in his eyes, he charges straight for Inosuke in a blind, bloodthirsty fury. Inosuke reaches for his swords, but Tanjiro is too fast, the pain and anger fueling his every move. He unleashes a barrage of merciless attacks, driving Inosuke back. Steel clashes against steel. As the 2 demon slayers become locked in an intense, destructive battle, one fighting for honor and revenge, the other fighting desperately for his life. As the fight reaches its climax, with Tanjiro pinning Inosuke to the ground, sword at his throat, a pivotal moment of realization occurs. Tanjiro, caught in the throes of his anger, is on the brink of exacting his revenge. However, in this critical moment, he is struck by a profound epiphany. He understands that killing Inosuke will not bring Nezuko back, nor will it alleviate his pain. The moment of clarity is a testament to Tanjiro's inherent goodness and moral strength, which even in his darkest hour, prevents him from crossing the point of no return. Tanjiro's decision to spare Inosuke's life marks a significant turning point in his character arc. It demonstrates his ability to rise above his anguish and retain his humanity. This choice sets him on a new path, one where he seeks to honor Nezuko's memory, not through vengeance, but by upholding the values she embodied and fighting against the true evils of the world. As the story progresses, Tanjiro's journey evolves into a quest for deeper understanding and self-forgiveness. He seeks to reconcile the conflict within him, balancing his desire for vengeance with his innate sense of justice and compassion. This internal battle becomes as significant as his physical confrontations, adding layers of complexity to his character and the overall narrative. In this reimagined storyline, Tanjiro's journey is not just about slaying demons, it becomes a metaphor for his struggle to overcome his own inner demons of grief and rage. His interactions with other characters, particularly Inosuke, who he once sought to kill, evolve into relationships marked by mutual respect and understanding. This altered trajectory of Tanjiro's story adds depth to the Demon Slayer universe, exploring themes of loss, redemption, and the enduring power of the human spirit. Well, that was only the first of 3 theories on how the story of Demon Slayer would continue if Inosuke killed Nezuko. According to the second theory, Inosuke's character development in the story would be highly influenced by the guilt of killing Nezuko. Immediately after Tanjiro cries out in anguish over his sister's motionless body, the truth dawns on Inosuke. Nezuko had only been desperately trying to protect her beloved brother, and Inosuke had stolen her life in a horrific act of ignorance. Nezuko's death weighs heavily on Inosuke's conscience after realizing she was actually an innocent being trying to protect her brother. Racked with guilt and self-loathing over killing an innocent, Inosuke isolates himself from Tanjiro and the other slayers. Haunted by Nezuko's death, Inosuke retreats into the depths of the forest, severing ties with Tanjiro and the Demon Slayer corpse. His isolation is not just physical, but also emotional, as he grapples with intense feelings of remorse and self-hatred. The wilderness becomes both his refuge and his prison, reflecting his turbulent inner world. Inosuke's descent into madness is gradual, but inexorable. He starts conversations with himself, imagining Nezuko's spirit accompanying him. These conversations range from apologies to pleas for forgiveness, indicating the depth of his psychological turmoil. The once brash and confident fighter becomes a shadow of his former self, his actions driven by a desperate need for redemption. As Inosuke continues his solitary demon hunts, his techniques become more erratic and reckless. His encounters with demons are no longer just battles, but acts of self-punishment as he throws himself into increasingly dangerous situations. His skills remain formidable, but his lack of regard for his own safety is evident. The climax of Inosuke's arc comes with the Demon Slayer's assault on Mozan's fortress. Inosuke emerges from his self-imposed exile, driven by a singular purpose: to confront Mozan, the root of all his suffering. In a frenzied and heroic effort, Inosuke manages to inflict significant damage on Mozan, slicing off one of the Demon King's arms. This act is symbolic, representing Inosuke's attempt to cut away his own guilt and sorrow. However, the battle takes a tragic turn as Inosuke is overpowered and mortally wounded. In his final moments, the line between reality and his delusions blurs. He speaks to the Phantom of Nezuko, seeking her forgiveness. In the very moment, Tanjiro along with the Demon Slayer corpse come to rescue Inosuke. In this alternate storyline, Inosuke's character arc becomes a poignant tale of grief, guilt, and the search for redemption. His journey is a stark contrast to the original series, where he grows through camaraderie and battles. Here, his path is solitary and tragic, highlighting the profound impact Nezuko's death has on him and the overarching narrative of Demon Slayer. Let's see what happens in theory number 3. According to this theory, Tanjiro, being heartbroken over losing Nezuko so soon, nearly gives up his quest to become a Demon Slayer. Tanjiro got utterly devastated after helplessly witnessing his beloved sister Nezuko gruesomely killed before his eyes, nearly giving up on his fierce quest to become a Demon Slayer. In the immediate aftermath, a heavy, paralyzing grief descends upon Tanjiro. When the shock wears off, the horrific reality sets in. His sweet Nezuko, the very reason he endured year after grueling year of training and battled relentless demons, is gone forever. It feels as if Tanjiro's heart itself has been ripped straight from his chest, leaving a vast, endless void of pain and despair. For days, he isolates himself from Gyu, Inosuke, and the others, not uttering a single word. He barely sleeps, kept awake by vivid nightmares flashing back to Nezuko's final terrified screams. He replays the scene of her death obsessively in his mind, haunted by the look of pleading fear in her eyes when she had gazed up at him one last time before the light left them. Tanjiro wonders endlessly, could he have done something differently to save her? The remorse is ceaseless, threatening to drown him from the inside out. When he finally emerges from isolation, the fire in his eyes that once burned with determination and dedication is gone without a trace. The ever-optimistic warrior now carries himself in weary defeat, shoulders slumped, gaze vacant as if his will to carry on has vanished. Gyu witnesses Tanjiro listlessly going through the emotions of basic training, seemingly having lost all motivation beyond numb survival. Seeing the boy's raw pain firsthand, Gyu is moved with empathy and speaks earnestly to Tanjiro. He reminds him that wallowing in misery and self-blame insults Nezuko's memory. Carrying on her kind, fierce spirit through demon slaying allows a part of her to live on, preventing other beloved sisters and daughters from meeting similar senseless fates. Gyu's words resonate through the fog of Tanjiro's gloom. While the rawness of his grief remains, a tiny flame of determination rekindles within. Nezuko did not deserve this end. He owes it to her spirit to carry on their shared quest of protecting humanity from cruel demons. Her loss must not be in vain. And so, Tanjiro's training begins anew under Sekonji Urokodaki's guidance. With each conquered technique and mastered skill, he makes silent promises to Nezuko to honor her. The remnants of childlike joy and wonder now gone from Tanjiro's eyes are replaced by a new steely tempered maturity. A raw desire for justice burns fiercely beneath the surface. During this intensive period of reflective training, Tanjiro's relationship with Inosuke grows complicated and strained. While no longer consumed by a blind rage compelling him to avenge his sister, Tanjiro cannot fully forgive the burr-headed warrior for recklessly tearing Nezuko from this world. He puts up a front of civility when interacting with Inosuke, but the easy friendship they once shared is gone. The underlying resentment Tanjiro works to suppress bubbles up, resulting in tense exchanges or avoidance of each other unless absolutely necessary. However, when the fateful day comes for all Demon Slayers to band together in one last desperate onslaught against Muzan, Tanjiro and Inosuke find themselves fighting side by side once more. Caught up in the chaos and violence of epic battle, a sense of understanding seems to pass between them as they instinctively protect and cover each other when outmanned by demons. In this high-stakes moment, their contrasting fighting styles and abilities perfectly complement one another. Where Inosuke attacks enemies with wild, frenzied energy, Tanjiro counters with refined precision and nonce technique. Together, they hold their own as a formidable duo against endless swarms of demons. Flesh and blood bodies working in perfect sync, while their hearts both honor Nezuko's spirit that spurs them on. While wounds heal slowly, this shared act of heroism bonds Tanjiro and Inosuke once more with a thread of comradeship. United by loss and bound by purpose, then victory over Muzan is finally achieved. Nezuko's name is lovingly uttered by both wearied warriors side by side as they gaze into the dawn of a new day. A bittersweet acknowledgement that her sacrifice led them all here. In the end, Tanjiro's grief over Nezuko permanently changed but never defeated his courageous heart. Rather, it molded him into a mighty tempest, dangerous for demons who would dare cross his path. Her tragic loss, now etched into his soul, drives his blade with the force of a brother fighting for the memory of the most innocent taken too soon. As per these theories, Nezuko's early demise from the hands of Inosuke would definitely leave a severe effect on the character development of the anime's protagonists. If Inosuke succeeded in killing Nezuko early in the story, her death would have sent ripples influencing Tanjiro, Inosuke, and the entire Demon Slayer Corps storyline in dramatic ways. But what if Nezuko was not turned into a demon by Muzan? Well, that's the subject of this other cool video. Click on it to see it. Click it.